When Villains Are Highkey Valid, number 2. I might have to check out his number 1 at some point, but still.
The last video like this did mad well, and I read the comments, and a lot of y'all had some really good pulls that I didn't mention. So I wanted to run it back. Now we got more villains that were high-key valid. If you didn't watch the last video, don't trip. It's okay. Just watch it after this one. I'll link it on the end screen. In the last video, I asked you guys, what is y'all's worst nightmare? Shower. Women. My worst nightmare, your success. Crash, bro. I don't know. Crash.
That's
I gotta get
up.
my coins. I need my coins. Kanye dropping some new trash after World War III.
My worst nightmare has got to be losing everyone and everything I love in a heartbeat.
Mine's Kool-Aid Man, but you do you, gang.
Question I got for
What the? Bro, this reminds me of that shit that you be sending me, Kendrick, when it be like, me and bro, acting nonchalant in front of, they don't know my true strength.
y'all today is, what is y'all favorite video game? And don't give me no weak answer either. Be genuine. I know damn well all y'all favorite game ain't no Call of Duty or NBA 2K. You better type down that Jack and Daxter. All right, first up on the list, and would have been on the last one if I didn't use Magneto as the token Marvel Big Bad, is that robotic nigga Ultron. Ultron was created by Tony and Bruce for one purpose: scan the galaxy for threats
Days come and go. I hear it in the background.
against Earth. They were trying to make their jobs as Avengers easier, trying to get on that Batman prep time timing. No more fades on sight, Loki. Next time you pull some BS, these niggas gonna be ready. So Ultron's purpose was to find things that are threatening to humans and stop.
Bro was on the internet for like 2 minutes and said, yeah, it's GG's. It's GG's for humanity.
Even if you haven't seen the movie, you just know where this is going if you understand how AI be acting when you give him a prompt. That nigga heard that. And get this, it gets better. This guy, Ultron, got internet access, did research on human history, and came up to the conclusion that humans count as threats against themselves. This dude, Ultron, is the embodiment of iRobot. Nigga is the rough drop of that movie. Everyone look at iRobot and say, this is why AI shouldn't be a thing. Nah, dog. Ultron is why AI shouldn't get too advanced. You mean to tell me he saw what they were saying on Twitter and said, you mean to tell me
Okay. I do like Ken Carson. But bro, there's no way you said this album is better than. Hell nah.
he saw what they were saying on Twitter and said,
Bro, sauce it up. EXO Tour Life, 20 minutes. What else? There's so many. Neon Guts, How to Talk. You telling me that shit better than? Nah, bro. Come on.
Oh yeah, these niggas gotta go.
like, bro, no way. Like, what size did that nigga stumble on for him to want to end us all? I can't
do
even
wanna see
imagine.
what he saw.
That's the why I say he's high key right. He is not right about the idea of ending humanity whatsoever. I would not say that. Like, bro, I want to be alive. But he was literally given a prompt from Tony and Bruce, and them niggas weren't specific enough. They ain't say no, but if they're also human, it's all right. Like,
That's
no,
true.
they just said anyone who's a threat to humanity. These dudes too dang smart to not think this over. They for real fumbled their greatest creation because they didn't want to be descriptive enough. Dude just saw us humans for who we were and made the correct decision. This is why we shouldn't put too much into AI. Man, I'm telling you, Ultron gonna be a real guy someday. But hopefully by then, I'm peacefully asleep. I don't want to live to see that. We gonna
Facts.
get high
I do not want to see that in my lifetime. Not gonna lie.
Buddy, yes, I have Syndrome from Incredibles on this list. Now, I understand.
Syndrome was valid, bro. That nigga really said, get out of here, kid. Bro, only thing bro wanted was an autograph. This was before the days of, yo, can I get a picture real quick? Nah, bro, he just wanted an autograph. That nigga said, get out of here, kid. Yo, he valid.
And he did some terrible things. Bro was packing up soups on a spree. I mean, it's an impressive feat considering that he has no powers, but dang, he's evil as hell. But the reason I got him here is because he's proving his point, which was that anyone can be, you know, technically, hypothetically, a superhero. I mean, he wasn't a hero, he was a villain, but anybody can do the job, basically. What he wanted to prove by killing these. When Buddy was young, he was a fan, a huge fan of Mr. Incredible. Had the posters on his walls and all that. He really glazed that man. Mr. Incredible was his version of LeBron. Now imagine you finally link up with your hero and ask him if you can help him out in any such ways. And that nigga shunned you off in some pretty rude ways. This is pretty much what Scottie Pippen did in the future, but instead of offing people, he just cracked his wife as revenge. I completely get that, Mr. Incredible.
Yo, W Future, bro. W Future, bro. Fuck that nigga Scottie Pippen, bro.
But was literally fighting someone who was bombing all
He had it coming, bro. I'm sorry, he did.
over the place. Like, yes, he was dealing with a literal terrorist at the time when Buddy asked him, but he could have definitely gave him time of day after he was all done. And low-key, Mr. Incredible should have heard him out, because Buddy was a natural at inventing and engineering. Like, even as a jit, he was tough. Like, look what he could do. Mr. Incredible denied, bro, like he wasn't gonna be a real help. That man be hiring kids that do way less. Boy, if you don't at least let bro make you some technologically advanced drip. So yes, Buddy got rejected.
Hey, bro. Hey, Tyrese.
Rejected, and this made him very upset. But I feel like that Buddy getting told no could have
memes
showed
are
him
hilarious.
that
I like this
Suits
shit.
wouldn't think he belonged due to his own lack of powers. Don't get me wrong, he a bad guy. Overall, he wrong as hell. But like, think about it a little bit. Going back to the MCU, I got Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming. I'll make this one quick. The government hold him after Loki.
Okay, I can see it. I can see it. That nigga was making bank off of that cleanup, that alien cleanup. They said, we got it from here, man. Go home. Well, what about our pay? That's none of our business. Fuck out of here.
New York. And bro just had to do what he had to do to get his paper for his family. I mean, he a bag chaser. I can't, what can
I thought this was the anti-gravity gun.
The Avengers and their problems be creating so many villains that it's crazy. Also, on the side note, Peter probably should have just let Vulture's robbery on Stark slide. Bro took the whole movie to bag his daughter, Liz. And when he realized that Toons was her dad,
Please don't go into this, bro. Please don't go into this, because this shit pissed me the fuck off. I'm not gonna lie, this shit made me so angry. Bro was like, bro could have just did one dance with Liz. You had a crush on her the entire year. You get to go to the dance with her. You don't even dance with her one time before you dip out. Nigga, I would have said, let's get a little whatever, get going for a kiss, whatever. Okay, I gotta go. I have to. Bro, this nigga just said, walked into the room, looked at Liz, she looking at him, smiling. Nigga didn't even have the heart to tell him, or nigga didn't even have the heart to tell her himself. He said, Ned, can you tell Liz I gotta go? Peter, what the fuck?
I mean, he did what was right, which was stopping people from getting insanely high-tech weapons and reselling them. And he proved to Stark that even as a jet, he can hang with the best of them and become an Avenger. Which I don't know why he had to prove that to Stark for real. He literally packed up both Falcon and the Winter Soldier and had a decent fade against Captain America in Civil War. All at the age of 15, by the way.
Queens. Brooklyn.
With hardly a fraction of the experience they all had. But like, he fumbled Laura Harrier in the midst of all this. He ended up with Zendaya, so he ate good regardless. But Laura Harrier though? Man, Shameik wish he was tough.
I was about to say Shameik. Yo, you got something Shameik never had, bro.
Here's the big one everyone was yearning for. Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
Hello?
This one actually mad tragic, because bro is even a bad guy for real. He just has a completely cooked past. For starters, we all know that neither his dad nor his mom showed up to his birth. How was the writer's room acting when they came up with this? Like, this has got to be the wackiest thing ever. How does your own mom not show up to your birth? This makes no sense. And he was constantly
Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna pause the record.
Bullied by everyone, especially his parents, throughout his youth. He was forced to wear dresses and used as a garden gnome. These are crazy methods of child abuse. His parents dead ass had him because they wanted a nigga to bully. Some couples trauma bond, these niggas bully bond. It's an evil world out here. Even after all that, I say that Doof is Mickey Evil, aka fraud. Like, he does what he does as a hobby and as a cope mechanism more than anything. And low key, him and Perry are homies. They homies. This gotta be the most friendliest op shtick I've ever witnessed. They probably play the game together when they're off the clock. Man, justice for Doof. He deserves better. Now, this one might be a crazy pull to some, but to me, I can't help but think about that little nigga, Rumpelstiltskin from Shrek 4. He was right. Get this. Shrek became a celebrity pretty pretty much after all the events of the first 3 movies, and people kept bugging him, and he wanted to live a quiet and lonely life with him and his family and friends, but got to the point where he started to blame all of them for his unhappiness with his life. Like, he even told Fiona he practically regretted saving her from the tower, and that he wouldn't have done it if he knew he'd become a public figure. And she was like, saying that basically means you don't love any of us, any of them, including their friends, and more importantly, her herself as his wife and their 3 children, which is some crazy work. Later on, Shrek is on a walk along the block.
That is kind of true, bro. You saying you wish you never saved her from the tower means you wish you never had the kids, fallen in love, all of that shit.
Some steam, and he meet that nigga Rumple, who gives him this magical deal to have a day to himself as a real ogre, analogy of being a real man, doing bachelor things without responsibility for one day, because Shrek just needs time off, and Shrek signs a contract. Like, he'll explain this in everything, but the catch is that to get this personal day off to himself, he has to give up a day to Rumple. So he agrees to give a day that he couldn't remember, thinking he got a great trade. Little did he know, he gave up the day he was born. So he ends up stuck in this alternate universe where he never existed, and everything is all bent up. It was so bad that Puss in Boots, I don't even know what he was. He was a fat ass nigga in Rick. Like, it wasn't good at all. Rumple definitely isn't a good dude for this, because part of the reason for doing this is wanting to be king and rule and have some power. But this could have been all prevented if Shrek just wasn't trying to be a selfish nigga and fully love and appreciate the ones he had around him, which he comes to by the end of the movie. But Rumple is high key right, because this is quite literally what Shrek signed up for. Like, he put the pen to the paper, all 5 letters of his name, and signed that contract. Nigga didn't think before he signed the paper and got put into the meanest 360 deal of all time. Not even a 360 dude. This might be the first ever 720 dude. I mess with Shrek, but this all on him. Rumple,
why'd you have to show that meek bid, nigga? Why'd you
finesse you fairly, and you obliged. You should have loved your fam, bro. Listen, y'all, let this be a lesson. Read contract and don't be a deadbeat. Second one is optional, but please read contracts, nigga. Print and paper can be devious. Now, my favorite one in this video easily has to be Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda, because it is unfortunately the realest and most common way people become evil. Tai Lung was an orphan left on Master Shifu's doorstep, and Shifu decided to raise him as not only a son, but as a student of Kung Fu. Soon it was evident that Tai had crazy natural talent, like he was mastering everything because he was tough, and Shifu told him he had potential to be a great, not just that, but the greatest. So Tai Lung made it his lifelong.
Tai Lung, oh man, yeah, this one's definitely an anti-hero.
Goal to become the Dragon Warrior, but as we all know it, Master Oogway did not have him in his vision, and looking at Shifu for support, he realized that Shifu agreed with Oogway, which made him feel betrayed, so he tried to take it. This happens, and that happens, and they put him in prison, yada yada yada, and then the events of the
yo, this video right, this is gonna be the biggest mistake of your lousy career.
The movie happened afterward. This all happened because of the way Shifu raised him. Like, he cemented the expectation of being the greatest, being the Dragon Warrior into Tai Lung's head, which made him think this was his sole purpose, and anything less wasn't enough, which is just chopped parenting. This is very chopped parenting. Don't do this. This is why a lot of people are cooked now, because parents give their kids high expectations and they don't know how to go on with life after failure of said expectations. It's a shame that Tai Lung ended up the way he did, because he was for real cold as hell. I know this video is about villains who are high key, or in some cases low key, right? But we must bring up the guy who people mistakenly put in this category. Thanos was wrong. Sorry, not sorry. His goal.
You know, when I rewatched Endgame or Infinity War, I was like, maybe Thanos wasn't right. You know, maybe he's not an anti-hero. Maybe he actually is just a villain, because he just really was like doing bad shit.
It was amazing, but his vision was horrible. Like, there's so many other ways to save the universe. He didn't have to end the lives of half of it to make it better.
Yeah, because people always said if you had the power in the glove to end half of humanity, you also had the power to give them said resources to live. I mean, what?
He's just a savage. Like, he didn't have to do that. There's so many different ways to fix this. The most obvious being that he could have found a way for resources to be used and produced more efficiently.
Exactly.
Or even easier. Just double the resources.
Exactly.
I can't stress it enough. There's so many ways to bring balance in the
That's
universe.
literally what I said. Same wavelength, my nigga. Same wavelength. Like, you could have actually just given them more resources if you had the power to take life away. That's
That
crazy.
is crazy. If you disagree and want more methods, search it up yourself.
To the calendar and circled
This
open
video
at
got
night.
long enough. Bye.
W video, bro. W fucking video. I'm gonna have to check out the first one later. That shit was a W, bro. Big W. Shout out, what's this nigga? Lateef? Just Lateef? Shout out Just Lateef, bro. W video, bro.